Okay, so this is going to be a series on basically I thought about this idea from another YouTuber. I'm gonna give him his cred, Kid Thunder 2. He's in the army just like me, but I'm in the Army National Guard while he's active duty. And I'm here with my friend Moseri again. And basically he's a 92 Yankee. So with this series, this is gonna be different MOSs talking about what they did during AIT and what they learned during AIT, Advanced Individual Training. And then they're gonna talk about how does it feel to be a 92 Yankee or whatever their MOS is with that unit that they are currently with now. Now that can be from active duty to a reserve component, the Army National Guard, or the Army Reserves. And he's in the reserve component as a reservist in the reserve. So Moseri, I'm gonna turn it over to you now.
All right, so my name is Moseri. Before I contracted as a cadet, I was a 92 Yankee Unit Supply Specialist. I was a private first class before I contracted as a cadet. So back in AIT, I went to AIT in Fort Lee back in 2015. The AIT for 92 Yankee is 8 weeks long. So for the first half of AIT, we're mostly just going over how to fill out certain property accountability forms like 2062s, signature cards, things like that.
What is a 2062?
It's a hand receipt. So it's just whenever I'm like issuing you supplies, it's just a form we fill out and then we go over. Signature card is something that delegates responsibility of gaining and leaving supplies, something like that. I don't know. But so the first half of AIT is learning about certain forms that you fill out and learning the rules and regulations binding each forms and the do's and don'ts of supply, property accountability. Oh, you learn about FLIPLs too, which are financial liability investigation forms about whenever property is lost. There's a certain procedure that you're supposed to go through. So after that, then you go into how to work the automated system that the Army used to use called Property Book Unit Supply Enhanced, or PBUS. It is a computer system that you use, or that supply specialists used to use to keep track of supply in the Army. Like your whole property book, everything expensive that the unit has been issued, and everything that the Army is expecting the unit to have is managed through that computer program called PBUS. Now the Army uses GCSS, Global Combat Support System. So everything I learned is outdated, so that kind of makes me irritated, but that's what we learned at AIT. And then I believe the final week, 2 weeks of AIT is learning how to become a unit armorer. So unit armorers are the people that manage all of the weapons in the unit. So they're responsible for issuing what weapon goes to which person, and they're also responsible for like the maintenance of those weapons. Each weapon has like a book about how to maintain that called a technical manual, and you refer to that technical manual on how to conduct maintenance on that weapon, and the technical manual will have detailed descriptions on how you should handle each problem depending on what that problem is. Like if a certain part of the weapon is cracked, here's the things that you can do to handle that. So yeah, that's what we did in AIT. Alright, what else?
And when you got to your unit as a reservist in the Army Reserves, what did you really find yourself doing in that unit?
So when I got to my unit, it was actually kind of laid back. It's interesting because supply specialists and supply sergeants, they don't fall under a platoon, so to say. I mean, technically they do, but not really. They mostly work for and report straight to the commander of that unit. So that has its pros and cons, right? So the pros are that you don't have a freaking E6, E7 that's bossing you guys around all the time. You guys don't have to deal with the usual Army BS quite as much as everyone in the rest of the company does. The con, though, is that you report directly to the commander. So if you mess up, then you're in trouble by the commander, and that's a big deal. So I heard a statistic when I was in AIT that the most common MOS that ends up in military prison over at Fort Leavenworth are 92 Yankees, because they screw up somewhere, get their commander in trouble, and their commander gets them sent to prison. Anyway, at the unit, mostly what we do is we sort of facilitate the training schedule, and we support training operations by issuing supplies. So for example, if there's a PT test, right? We are responsible for setting up the PT course We got to set up the cones where the cones need to go. We need to have, what are they called? The things that have water in them. Why am I blanking on this? But the coolers that have water in them with the plastic cups, disposable cups, so that we can get water to everybody. We need to have the mats set up. And this is all on our own. Like, nobody's telling us, nobody's whispering in our ear like, oh, hey, PT test is on this day, make sure you have this done. Like, we just have to know to do it when the PT test happens. So things like that, right? Not only PT test, but whenever the unit goes to the range, we have to pack and make sure we have all the equipment that we need. Why am I blanking on this? But the stuff that's, the liquid that's used to clean the weapons. COP, yeah. We have to make sure we have enough COP, cleaning kits, cloths. We got to make sure we got all the magazines. We have to make sure we have a lot of all the targets that people are going to zero on. We have to make sure that we have everything, and it's a lot of responsibility because again, nobody is like whispering in our ear, make sure you have this, make sure you have that. It's all us. We are getting it done on our own initiative to have it done by the deadline that it needs to be done, so that we can have a successful training operation over at the range. Okay,
so you guys heard it here from my friend Moseri about what it means to be a 92 Yankee, and honestly I thought that he did really great on like giving you guys some intel and some knowledge, because I know many of y'all are going to go to basic training and you're going to honestly question like, what are you going to get from AIT, what are you going to learn about? So you can study up on a few different things. I'll link in the description like these different forums that he was talking about so you can look at them and everything. So the last question I have for you is, at AIT, did y'all have like a song for like your MOS?
Yeah, we did have a Quartermaster Song. Please don't ask me to sing it. I don't remember it at all.
Wow.
But we did have our own song that we sang like before class every day.
I still know the Infantry Man's Creed, but okay. All right, so I will link that song down in the description below so you guys can look at it. You guys had to sing it, you said?
Yeah, every day before class we sang the Quartermaster Song.
Y'all stand at attention when y'all sang it or no?
Yep, we did.
All right, so if you guys have any questions for him, just comment down below and I'll get back to him on that. With that being said, wherever you are in this world, like I always say at the end of every video, smile. If nobody loves you, love yourself first so that at least someone loves you. Try to find a friend, somebody who just cares about you and really shows you that they care about you based on their actions and not just with words. With that being said, have a great one. That's it.
Yeah. I never won the spelling bee. I can read people's energy. Listen to what have been said to me. Heard the